Well, it is the end of the first day of the final matches here for summer playoffs. We're in Toronto. I'm joined right now by Pobelter, who is exhausted. How was that best of 5 for you?
Exhausting.
Yeah, that makes sense. I would imagine so after all those games. That was like, what, 5 hours?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. And then what was this morning like for you?
This morning, actually, I ended up getting some suboptimal sleep because the air conditioning in my hotel room, it's making like this rattling noise even when it's turned off. So I'll have to talk to the front desk about that later. So my sleep goes unperturbed.
How much of the rattling air conditioner was a factor in today's game?
Um,
Would it have been 4 games instead of 5 if the air conditioner hadn't rattled?
It's hard to say, you know. Maybe in some alternate timeline, my air conditioning didn't rattle, and it was 4 games, but I don't know.
Who he wouldn't have gotten that solo kill on you in that first game if the air conditioner hadn't rattled.
Yeah, actually, I haven't played Karma in like a month. It was just kind of a spur of the moment kind of decision that I got over by. Yeah, so we were like, let's not play Karma mid for the rest of the series. But actually, I think what really happened was I hovered Tryndamere in Champion Select, and this was God taking his vengeance on me.
Okay.
And he said I would get solo killed by Huhi after I hovered his.
Why did you hover Tryndamere?
Just wanted to give a shout out.
Okay, very good. Well, and a shout out you did. So let's talk about the games. First off, I had pretty much everyone except for, I think Scar up here was predicting a 3-0 by Immortals today. He's a CLG fanboy, so I guess that's why that happened. But I think everybody, for the most part, was surprised by the fact that it went to 5 games. Why do you think that was, and did that surprise you?
Yeah, CLG played better than we were expecting. I think 6A was doing really well on Jhin, which made a lot of the games kind of tough, so we banned it out in the last game. Thinking about the games we lost, first game, that was pretty much my bad. I got like completely put on in lane, and he actually just solo carried the game. My bad, guys. We had 2 Vladimir games, so we won, and then the next game we lost, I blind picked Cassio, which kind of got punished by, like I said, Jhin, and then also by Vel'Koz. And I was kind of used to playing that matchup, but still just dominating my lane and winning the game. But he ended up getting blue buff early on, which kind of negated that. And then they also had the Shen pressure, so I wasn't able to play the way that practice had been going. So eventually we were just getting outranged. We made some mistakes, and then they just won.
Now, the house lights coming on behind us as the arena gets empty. But I do also want to ask you, what do you think of Huhi after that series? Because Huhi, player that seems to get a lot of complaints from the community, people feel like he's underperforming. Felt like in particular that first game he did really well. You are someone who has a lot of strong opinions about mid laners that you tend to keep to yourself. I'm wondering if in this case you have any opinions about Huhi.
I think he's gotten a lot better over the season. Yeah, I mean, I think he's improved a lot. He really dominated me the first game, so I mean, I'll pay to respect him. I'm not gonna talk crap about him.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't looking for you to talk crap about him. I was curious because it did seem like he played maybe even better than he normally does in this game.
Yep.
Yeah. Very good. Well, one of the reasons I wanted to interview you, I know you're tired. Hopefully this isn't too mean of a question, but I did this interview with you at the end of the spring split in the same position where you had just gotten 3rd in playoffs after an expected, very solid finish. Similar situation here. I think a lot of people expected you guys in the finals. You end up getting 3rd. Now you're going to Gauntlet. How do you make sure that you start, playing at those not suboptimal but optimal levels that I think a lot of Immortals fans are expecting the team to play at?
I think that we were actually doing really well in practice leading up. Like, we were also very confident heading into playoffs against C9. And the thing is, like, being a professional league player isn't like a single player game, The other guy is also trying just as hard as you are, if not harder, or maybe just close. You're trying really hard, and it might feel like you're giving it your all, but the other guy is too. And I think that's kind of what happened against C9. We felt super good. We felt like we were playing really well together as a team, but they were just a little bit better, and yeah.
Fair enough. Hey, a couple questions before we wrap up. The crowd here seemed crazy. I know everybody was. It did feel to me like the audience was much more in favor of Immortals. I don't know if you sensed any of that because possibly Wild Turtle coming out with the Canadian flag on his back. But what was it like for you playing on stage and being surrounded by all the fans?
It was pretty cool. The crowd was really energetic. I was really happy for Turtle because the crowd was like chanting his name, and he looked really happy, and he had the flag, and he's Canadian, and we're in Canada.
Yes. A lot of Canadian things right there. Yeah.
Yes.
Did that give you guys, was that the edge that you needed? Would you have lost because of the air conditioner, but the Canada energy made you guys win?
We're not that used to having the crowd on our side because we're a newer team, and then a lot of teams like C9, CLG, TSM are more established. Like especially TSM, if like Bjergsen gets a CS, then you can like hear the crowd faintly chanting TSM or they like kill a ward. So it was actually really nice to have the crowd on my side for once.
Very cool. And then other than that, predictions for tomorrow, TSM, C9.
I think it'll be really close. I think C9 3-1.
Okay. Holy moly. Aframu gave me C9 predictions last week too, so it's really crazy. Let me ask you, why? Because everybody thinks TSM, I think, in the broader world, but it seems like all the players know something the rest of us don't know.
Secret.
Okay. Like scrims? Would scrims be a secret?
Secret.
All right, very good. That's all I needed. Is there anything that you want to say to any of the Immortals fans out there after your guys' performance today before you pass out?
Yeah, TSM's gonna 7 Reginald. Anyways, this season kind of sucked, to be honest. Like, we got third, both splits so far, but hopefully we can make it up to all the fans who have been supporting us and still make it to Worlds. And we're gonna try really hard to make that a reality.
Do you hear Scar yelling right now?
Yep.
What? We're trying to shoot an interview. Scar is yelling.
What a ruffian.
You can check out the rest of our coverage of all things esports here at Yahoo Esports.